Okay, I'm going to do a very quick demonstration of how to make country wine. And it's super, super simple. It's easy. It's a great first fermentation project if you haven't ever fermented anything before. You can use any kind of juice that is only juice. Read the label. It might have a list of all different kinds of juices that it has in there. It may have citric acid or ascorbic acid, but if it has any other chemicals, don't use that juice. Just go to the next juice. One of my favorites is the white grape cherry from Welch's. That's one of my favorites. And also at Aldi's, they have a pomegranate plum, and I really like that one too. That one is, both of those are really yummy. So all you have to do is open the thing, so this is already sanitary. Pour off a pint of the juice. Okay, 2 cups. Pour off a pint of the juice, and then add to the juice between a cup to a cup and a half of sugar with, can you see that, Daisy? About a scant 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. And I'm using champagne yeast today, but you can use baker's yeast. You can use any kind of yeast. The yeast will affect the flavor. The different yeasts have different flavors, so you can try different ones, and you can get them on Amazon. And 1 packet of yeast will make several of these. You just pour this in. So you've poured off the juice so that you've got room to add the sugar. But as you can see, you've still got a lot of head space there, but you want that. Then put the lid back on and shake it for about a minute, which is good exercise. Upper body, lower body. Shake, shake, shake. So you're just shaking this to dissolve it and to mix the yeast in. Shake for about a minute. Then after that, you've got it shaken. Release the cap a little bit so that it's still engaged somewhat, but it will allow the gases to come out, but there's no way a fruit fly or anything can get down in there. Now, what do you do with the leftover juice? What I do is pour it together with some other juice and just make another batch. So it could be the same juice, or it could be a different juice and make sangria. I will have in here, when I finish, 3 pints of juice, and then just make the recipe again. So finally, what do you do with it after it ferments? You're going to put it in a dark place like this, and don't bother it. It likes a dark place. At about 74, 5, 6, whatever you keep your house will be fine, but put it in a dark place. If you don't have a dark place, just put a towel over it and let it sit for a month. It's going to have bubbles. You'll see bubbles starting to form the next day. You'll see bubbles coming up from the bottom, and you'll even see some movement of the cap as the carbon dioxide escapes. And the bubbling action will actually go on for a few weeks. Once it stops bubbling, that's when the fermentation has stopped. But as long as it's bubbling, just leave it alone. And then you want to siphon it off into a bottle. I like to use the sparkling lemonade bottles that I get at Aldi's, just because the caps are already there. And so I siphon it or decant it into these bottles and make sure that I leave the yeast sediment in the bottom of the bottle, and then I store it in my little wine fridge. And here's some that I've already made. This is some cherry and apple. The apple one is really good and has a beautiful color. I'll just pour a little of it so you can see it. I like it chilled. You don't have to drink it chilled, but I like it chilled. And that's all there is to it.